Hi, I'm Myra Oppel, and I'd like to explain to you the priority of restoration. When we have something like a storm that disrupts power supply to lots of neighbors and businesses and homes, there's a specific priority of restoration, or how we decide who gets power back on first. If you take a look at the diagram, we start with the generating station, which is the big gray square in the back. The lines that come from the generating station, marked number 2, are transmission lines. Those are the big, fat, heavy lines that you see strung among towers. They may be out in a field and the grass is mowed underneath them. Those take the high voltage electricity to substations, which is marked number 3. A substation steps down that high voltage power to lower voltages that can be distributed out to neighborhoods. The lines that come from the substation out to neighborhoods, marked number 4, are primary lines or feeder lines. And then number 5 are the secondary lines. Those are the lines that go out into the neighborhood. And then number 6 are the lines that go from the individual utility poles to the houses. Those are called service lines. And to simplify this a little bit, if you think of this as a road system, number 4 would be the interstates, number 5 would be the neighborhood streets, and number 6 would be the driveways. When we have an outage occur or a storm, the first thing we do is start with an assessment. We have to figure out what has happened and what is broken before we know how long it'll take to fix it. After we've assessed the damage and come up with an estimate on a global time of how long it'll take us to get most of the people back on, then we start restoring power to the transmission lines and the substations. Until those are repaired, no power is getting through them until anything downstream. So you have to start there. After we get the transmission and substation, which make up the backbone of our electric system, we go to our priority customers, which are hospitals and schools and fire departments and police stations, critical care, public safety issues. We take care of those first. And then we go into the feeder lines. One of those lines can serve up to about 1,200 customers. So getting one of those reestablished can bring on that many customers, as opposed to starting with the number 6, which is the service line that would get one customer on. When we restore the feeder lines, the way the system works and the technology works is that the system assumes that once number 4 is restored, once the feeder line is restored, that all the customers downstream of that repair have power back. We don't know that you don't have power unless you call and tell us. So we ask periodically that even though you reported the outage when the storm first passed, that you continue reporting that outage. We ask that you call 3 or 4 times a day because it helps us pinpoint problems down the field. Sometimes if they request a call back, they will get a call back from the utility company saying, power in your area has been restored, please press 2, or just please call us back, your power has been restored. Those are very important for us to be able to pinpoint further problems on down the road. This also will explain something that's called nested outages. And that's when multiple problems on the line going back into that neighborhood can occur. If there's a problem on where you see the number 4, we fix that, we assume that that's okay. A second problem we fix on number 5, and then the third problem is on number 6. Then you get into where in the tier of priority these outages are occurring and where repairs to those outages are going to occur. We're going to do all of the number 4s first before we get back into the neighborhood number 5s. We're going to complete the 5s before we get to the 6s. This can be very frustrating for customers because they see the trucks coming in and making repairs to the number 4 and they still don't have power. And then they see the trucks come back and repair number 5 and they still don't have power. And then they may even see the trucks come back in again and repair, say, a transformer that would serve their house and the next 2 neighbors or so, and they see that repair occur and they still don't have power. It's because that there's some problem between their house and the pole, and that's going to be on the bottom tier of the priority chain. So the main point is it is very important for customers to keep calling us back, but the most important thing for them to realize is that they are just as important to us as that first repair that we've made. We will stay out there 24 hours a day. We will continue working around the clock until every last customer is restored.